Hello and welcome to Solar Messenger's lecture about environmental sustainability and why we should go solar. So my name is Gal Messinger and I'm the owner of Solar Messenger and also a professor that teaches environmental studies. So this is for everyone who wants to learn a little bit more about why we should go solar. And I think it's going to be interesting in general. So I'm going to start with a little bit of explanation about the environment, and then I'll go and talk a little bit about why should we go solar. Of course, it's not going to cover all the information you need to know, but definitely it's going to be educational. So as we know, we use the grid, and the electrical grid is something that people kind of are aware that it exists, but it's not really very common to understand how it works. The grid itself supplies all our needs of electricity. It consists of basically several parts. First, there's the generator itself. Then you have the high voltage infrastructure that is between cities, and then we have the low voltage coming to our houses. So today, especially if you talk about advanced countries, there's a mixture of producing facilities, the production facilities, and we can produce basically a baseline of electricity, which is what we consume all the time, day and night, if there's wind or sun or no wind or sun. In Ontario, we usually use two main sources of electricity, which are nuclear and also hydro. These are the main baseline, but when there is not enough, we burn the natural gas. In other places of Canada, we also burn oil, and in the United States, there's a lot of coal burning as well. So the grid basically supplies what you see in your outlet, 120 volts, and you're supposed to have it 24/7, 365 days a year. The only thing is that we would like to minimize the effect on the environment, meaning not use natural gas, coal or oil, and use more renewable energy as much as we can. Now, there's a debate about nuclear, but this is too short of a lecture to explain. With a safe nuclear, we can also solve a lot of problems. But the question is, what are we doing to the environment? So if we burn natural gas, coal, or oil, we have actually producing a lot of pollutants. In those, we have CO2, carbon dioxide, which is what we also exhale, and methane. Both are causing the temperature of the atmosphere to go up. I'm not discussing global warming here. I'm just telling you a fact. Nitrates and particles that are pollutants. And basically, there's environmental damage because of the extraction. So when we take those sources out of the ground, we move them around, there's also environmental issues with that. Nuclear has zero emissions of CO2 and methane. When you build the factories, of course, but when you use them, it's not an issue. They're a great baseline. They are a bit risky, and they are huge projects. So you cannot kind of create them immediately. It takes 10 to 20, 30 years to build a nuclear reactor. And we have renewable energy. In Ontario and across Canada, we use hydro. Hydro is a very good solution because it's stable. We can monitor what's going on. If you want to see one, go to Niagara Falls. This is like baseline, so it works all the time, no problem. Solar we use on houses and in wind and solar farms, same as wind. Wind we usually don't use in the residential areas in the cities, but you can see them on farms. And again, when you've got solar farms, you may have wind farms like big turbines. Tidal is ocean, under the ocean. Basically, it's a small version of a wind turbine. We have a little bit of it in Canada, but it's not for homes. And geothermal, obviously, it's not for Ontario. We don't have enough of it. Biomass is for industrial level. So it's not for us, but you can actually control if you buy fuel or you fly an airplane, very shortly, you'll see that they'll have some biofuel in it. So what can we do? That's an issue. And why should we do it? Now, firstly, the grid right now, as it is in Ontario, is quite good. It's quite efficient. It uses mostly nuclear and hydro and a bit of gas. But the grid is going to change. It's going to become huge, and more electric cars are going to be added, and heat pumps, and we're going to move out of basically out of the economy we have now to a more electrified economy. And what we're going to see is smart grids, that everything is connected together. Again, this is a short lecture about the basics of environmental effects of solar. And obviously, we would like to spread out the production of electricity and the storage. So what you see here is basically a combination of wind and solar farms that are big outside of the city usually. And then on houses, you can see here the evolution of solar and also on factories, plus batteries that can be either in the house or connected in certain locations. And electric cars may do that as well. Now, why do we do this? We do this firstly because the consumption is going to grow. The grid as it is now is not going to satisfy our needs for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Now, if you want to add more energy, yes, we can build more nuclear reactors, but they cannot do much about hydro in Ontario because we already use a lot of it. We can maybe divert a bit, but we cannot do much. But we can definitely change our consumption and production on houses. Now, if you think about this, we have what we call the 3 pillars of sustainability, and their connection between society and economic development, which is equitable. So how we see the connection between this is called equitable. Between society and the environment, which is bearable, meaning the environment can bear our existence. And economic and the environment means viable. It's logical to do it financially. Now, equitable is kind of a most important thing if you think about social studies and about how people are interacting between each other. But if you have to think about the rest of them as well, so all 3 of them have to be there to create sustainability. So what can we do in our personal life? We can reduce, recycle, and reuse. We know all these 3 R's. We can eat sustainable food, minimize travel, grow vegetables, and donate money to plant trees. Definitely, it is very, very important. But the best thing we can do right now is to go solar. And if we go solar, we can do the change immediately. And especially if we go solar, such a way that we are going to cancel our electricity consumption throughout the year. So my goal is not to convince you to become vegetarian or to donate money for trees, but just to tell you that there is a way, which is also, if you look at this, it's a viable thing for you because you can actually save money. It's bearable because you can reduce your footprint, and it's equitable because you actually are using less resources that are basically kind of abusing the planet because we use too much of it. So by going solar, we can definitely contribute in our personal little microcosmos to reducing the effect we have on nature and increasing our sustainability. So I hope you enjoyed it. Again, my name is Gal Messinger, and I'm the owner of Solar Messenger. My goal is to make you decide to go solar, or at least make your friends maybe go solar if they've got the option to do so. And I would love to talk to you anytime you want. You can reach me out. The details are on my website. Thank you very much.